One of the other things that we're going to be doing in the relatively near future, so you can look forward to this, if this has had enough time to get on YouTube, there's a really good chance that it will already be up and running by that time, is Trusted Team. So if you go to trustedteam.com, or actually you can go to my Trusted Team, which is bizgrowth.trustedteam.com, you will very, very soon find the Wellness Community's profile listed there as one of my recommended trusted partners. And so if you're looking to make a good donation, there's more than one reason to give that donation. Now, you want to give that donation just because it's the right thing to do, it's out of the goodness of your heart. But one of the things that Matt was talking about, we do talk about 25% of this show is about professional networking. So one of the most important aspects of professional networking is being able to network with people who are very powerful, who are very high quality, and in other words, elevate your game. And one of the best ways to elevate your game is to start going to events where there are entry fees, where the general public doesn't go to get free hors d'oeuvres. But they're there. If there are free hors d'oeuvres, it's because they paid $500 to $1,000 to be there and to participate and donate. So not only is it for a good cause, but it's a great place to network. And also the assumption is if you can afford $500 to $1,000, you know how to network in a way that doesn't put people off. So you're not just running around handing out business cards and asking for their business. You're actually creating real relationships. And so that's what Trusted Team is all about, is creating real relationships that once you've taken those relationships, you can actually work together in a way that benefits those that you meet and that benefits you at the same time. So we may talk about that a little bit more later. In fact, we have 2 minutes till break, and if it's okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more with Matt and Bob. So let's wave the magic wand, Matt, and share with you that if we are able to, the most likely what we will be doing is our advertiser Crescendo will be working with us to donate a Trusted Team lifetime membership, where what it is it's kind of like LinkedIn but with upgrades, and it'd be like us donating the lifetime upgrades to LinkedIn to you.
Fabulous.
Okay, so
Fabulous.
So this particular Trusted Team, the reason why it's such a great product for fundraising is that when you get large businesses that make large donations, foundations that they support, that kind of thing, they also do a lot of emails. And so when you get a large organization, they're not just valuable because they tend to make great donations, but they also have great advertising programs. They have great marketing programs to get the awareness out about you. And obviously awareness not only brings in more value to the wellness community itself, but it also creates more opportunities for donations.
Absolutely.
And donations from their peers. So let me give you an example. One of my very, very good friends, actually, I probably should change the names to protect the innocent, but they are a very huge outlet, the 3 letters in their media group, and they actually just pushed Univision out as the #1 donator to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So I asked them, what was the reason for me becoming the major contributor there? And they said, well, besides we believe in the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the other half of the answer is, duh, we want to go in there and network with everybody else who's donating to the Susan G. Komen Foundation, right? So, so they wanted to get in there and network with those that already are donating. So that's a lot of the reasons why the private companies get involved. But from the standpoint of Susan G. Komen, if they can actually start harnessing the marketing efforts, which is what Trusted Team does, of their donors, that is what becomes very, very powerful. So there's 3 ways that Trusted Team allows you to harness the donations. Now, there are some donors who want to remain private. You're going to respect that, we're going to respect that, Trusted Team respects that, and obviously that they're not going to be out in the public. But kind of like this media outlet, we want to get in there, right? So the concept of Trusted Team essentially is that there's 3 ways to market. If you had 100 donors that were relatively large companies that had good social media presence, then when they send out messaging to their social media about themselves, you're one of the recommended 25 referral partners, and people will click to find out why is it that your nonprofit was the one that was being recommended.
Fabulous.
And then people that when they click, they're interested, and there's that chance, again, that very tight-knit community of very high-level people who tend to be those that donate. So I would encourage you, if we can, potentially get that. When's the porch party again?
November the 8th.
November the 8th. So it would be nice to have a really good program so that you can start promoting the trusted team aspect with the porch party, because in the same way that private people should be donating the $500 to hang out with very powerful and wonderful people, that each of them has a very congenial, nice, gentle way to network with each other, because they all have the wellness community and the porch party in common, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the social media postings. There's also email. What the email aspects do is allow these, I'm just going to make it up, let's say there's 100 participating for-profit companies that are donating to the wellness community, and they send out 1,000 emails each twice a month to their email base. You would have 200,000 emails where they're recommending the wellness community and helping the awareness. And both sides of that coin, both from the donating standpoint, if they click and say, hey, where do I donate? Or from the standpoint of, I know somebody who needs these services. So it just helps awareness get out in that community, which for a nonprofit is the lifeblood of everything, in my opinion, is both for fundraising as well as services. And volunteers, which are sometimes almost as valuable as the fundraising.
Well, I think it speaks to what we do. It speaks to building community. So
yeah.
that is that community as a community of support with donors and the networks, and knowing that we're there when they need it. So it is building community.
You bet. And if any of you out there, any of our listeners, know of nonprofits, or maybe you actually know of one of the other locations of the wellness community out there, what's the name of the national organization again?
Cancer Support Community.
Cancer Support Community. So you may be aware of one of the cancer support, because this is a nationwide show. If you have a local a division there, and you want to involve Trusted Team in that, feel free to give me a call at 480-296-1776, and we can also talk about getting the Trusted Team donated there. The nice thing about things that are being donated to a worthy cause is that everybody wins, nobody loses, and we're able to help that good cause, including the private companies that get to benefit each other. The more they benefit, the more the wellness community benefits. So I love that trusted team concept. We'll talk about it more later. And since this is a social media show, we just wanted to introduce that as the applied example of how it can be utilized. And you can also talk to me about doing, even if it's not, even though, heaven forbid, we don't want to talk about anybody but the wellness community today, if you have a favorite nonprofit that you feel is worthy of the trusted team concept, then feel free to contact us, and we will talk about that off the air. In the meantime, I think I am just about time to go to break. So when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about the services that are provided, and how you can get involved. Is okay if we talk a little bit more about volunteerism as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. So don't go away if you're interested in volunteering and how to get involved in that. We'll talk a little bit more about that and the different ways that you can get involved in serving with the wellness community. So we'll be right back after the break. We want to thank Vicki and Matt for joining us here with the wellness community, which can be found if you're wanting to multitask while you're listening to our commercials. Go to www.twccaz.org. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back after the break.